we got a nice interview with Thomas Bryant coming up. And let's hear from the Rochester native who was in town recently. And we had a chance to speak with him about being an NBA champion and also what went down with that trade with the LA Lakers toward the end of the NBA season at the trade deadline. Backsmith, we could go to that interview.
Thomas, how was it winning a championship with the Denver Nuggets? How did that feel being part of a team?
It was great. It was a blessing. It was a blessing to be on the team that, potentially won a championship. And, as a kid, you always dreamed about things like that and talked about things like that. But to actually have it, come to reality is a blessing and something that I'm going to always cherish for the rest of my life.
And how was it at trade deadline when the trade happened? Mm-hmm. Were you expecting a trade or were you thought that the Lakers might move you or anything of that nature?
Throughout the trade deadline, of course, there's always jitters and everything. But for me, it was just like I never wanted to be traded.
Okay.
So the aspect of how that happened was just totally out of the ordinary what people might think. Like, I never wanted to get traded. I never requested a trade. I never did any of that. Like, I wanted to stay with the Lakers. As much as I praise AD, LeBron, Austin, Rui, everyone that was on that team. I was there from now all the way till then, even Russ and Pat Bev. Like, I love that team, and I love developing with those guys. So it was like I never really wanted to get traded, but it happened, so it happened. So it's a business. You have to work with it.
And how was your mindset? How did you change to say, oh wow, now I'm going to Denver? Mm-hmm. How was that for you? How was that mentally for you to change?
It was different. It was difficult because just with LA, I just had people there that I knew. I had to, my whole organization, how I did things was all through LA. That's where I worked out in the summertime, and then being there for the season, and then going to Denver, it was just very different because Denver's very different from any type of city life or anything like that. So it was a kind of big of a shock to me, but I had to adjust to it.
Mm-hmm. Right. And how was it now going to Miami now?
It was great. Going to Miami, just talking with those guys and talking with the coaches, getting the standpoint of in the basis of what they want from me, total transparency of how they want me to play, and they want to use me. So I really feel good about it.
Good. So they gave you some idea how they want to use you?
Yes, for sure. Yeah. Okay. Potentially come being out there with Bam and Jimmy, and or one or the other, and or coming off the bench. So it's like it's both ways.
Excellent. Last but not least, what's your words of encouragement for the young people of Rochester, New York?
To always keep pursuing your dreams and aspirations, no matter what it is. Whether it's business, basketball, athletics, anything. Always pursue what you want to do. Don't let anybody tear you down because you can accomplish anything that you can set your mind to, and you always put the work in and day out.
Excellent.
There you go. Excellent. There you heard it from Thomas Bryant. Grew up on Hudson Avenue, by the way. Went to Bishop Kearney High School. Very nice young man. I was very impressed with him, guys. But the one thing that really surprised me about the interview was we were reading reports online. That's why you can't always trust what you read
I was just going to get there.
They were saying that he wanted out of LA.
Requested a trade.
Right. Remember we reported on that, J-GILLZ?
Then he said he requested a trade and straight from the player's mouth. He said he did not want to leave LA. LA is his home. LA is where he works out. So that was great reporting, right, man, and getting right to the story. As the Fanatics say. What you say, Fanatic?
Hey, we not telling you what we know.
Come on.
We not telling you what we heard. We telling you what we know. I'm going to get it right today.
You're going to get it one of these days. Absolutely. That's why we bring it to you here. Real Deal Sports Show, talking sports of our source. And when he said that, I was surprised. I said, wow. He said he didn't want to trade. And one other thing, he did a question and answer session with the students at the Boys and Girls Club of Rochester. Dwayne Mahoney runs that facility, does a hell of a job with that facility. And most of the athletes that make it out of Rochester always give homage to the Boys and Girls Club of Rochester, New York, and the fine job that Dwayne Mahoney and his entire staff continue to do up there at 500 Genesee Street with the Boys and Girls Club of Rochester. Check it out. That's a great place to take your kids and so forth during vacation time. Summer, I know summer's about over, but hey, during the fall or you got school off or things, take your kids up there. It's a safe place for your kids to play and get nurtured and grow and meet other kids that growing and doing the same thing. And Thomas Bryant was saying about one of the kids asked him who was his favorite player to play with, and he said Russell Westbrook. He said that guy is so cool, and he said he helped him out with a lot of off the court things as well as on the court. And he said Russell Westbrook is currently the best teammate. If you had to answer it, his best teammate that he played with. He said, don't listen to the media talk. And that's another thing. Don't listen to us media people and people talking about Russell Westbrook. He said the guy is totally different than how he's portrayed in the media. And that's his favorite guy for playing with and being and connecting with as an NBA player, J-GILLZ and Fanatic.
Yo, that's super dope. And again, that is it's important. It's important to know what's going on, and that Rad, man, we appreciate you for taking the time to go handle that interview for us. So that's a beautiful, beautiful thing to hear straight from the horse's mouth, to hear from our man Thomas Bryant, to say what's going on, what's really going on, what's it really like. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And yeah, Russell Westbrook, beautiful thing with that. So loving it. Great interview.